Today we're taking a look at the AK diffuser for macro photography. It's made by a guy in Florida, and it feels very high quality when I unpack it. You get a few parts that you have to assemble yourself, and I definitely had to consult the instruction video to get it right, but it is pretty simple, at least once you have learned how to do it. You simply put the parts together with buttons that snap, and you can also use the LED light that comes with the diffuser if you need some extra light for focusing. But since I use a Sony mirrorless camera, I don't feel I need that, so I'm not even gonna try that. I'm just gonna assume that that works, and that is probably very useful if you are using a DSLR or a mirrorless camera that isn't that good at handling low light situations. When you order the AK diffuser, you have to fill out the measurements of your camera and the flash and lens. So it might be good to think through that in case you're going to switch camera or lens or flash, because then it might not fit as well. But I find that this one that was made according to my measurements, it fits very well. The diffuser also comes with an optional underside part that you can actually attach on the top of the diffuser when you're not using it. So sometimes you need some extra light from the underside, and then you can attach this piece under the lens to get light coming both from above and from under, and that can give you very nice photos. So they have cut down the whole field since I was here the last time, including all the wildflowers. That's not optimal, but I still think we will be able to find some insects. Let's try the trees here. So we have a big juicy stink bug here. Perfect. Let's try to shoot it. So this was actually a situation where this thing that you can put on the other side came in handy. I didn't even have to attach it, I just held it like this to get some light from under. When an insect is sitting so that it is obstructed by a leaf or something on the upside, you don't get much light from here. So you have to have something like this. So that was actually very useful to have this thing that you can have on the other side. You can of course attach it as well. And I can see already now in the camera that the diffusion is very good, and I'm not surprised. You can see that it is very well thought out with this very big screen, and also that you have a bit of white edges here on the other side, so that some light can bounce up even when you're not using the extended underside thing. So I'm really happy so far. Let's take some more photos. A lot of people ask me how I can get the shot every time, how I can get the insect to stay every time, but that simply is not true. I mean, I have the same problem as everyone else with insects getting scared, flying away when I approach. But I tend to exclude most of those instances in my videos, because otherwise my videos would be 10 times longer and a lot more boring. I'm seeing another stink bug here. Let's try to capture it. This one I decided to capture at 2x magnification because it was pretty small. So now you know how the photos look at 2x magnification with the AK diffuser. From what I can see in the camera, the colors are very vivid and the light is very soft and nicely diffused. So I think it looks very promising so far. And it looks like by having this overside here, I get around 1 stop extra light because it bounces on the inside than if I would have no roof on it. And I base this on the fact that with the Pope shield I have to shoot at 1/8 or 1/4 in flash strength, but with this one I can shoot at 1/16 or 1/8 and get the same kind of exposures. Alright, there weren't too many insects out on the field today, so I'm gonna go back into the forest and see if we can find anything there. I have found a half-grown stink bug here. He crawled onto my finger. I usually don't like it when stink bugs crawl onto my finger because they are called stink bugs for a reason. So I definitely like the experience of using the AK diffuser, at least here on my first photo walk with it. So I'm gonna use it more times to get a better understanding for it, and I would probably make a larger diffuser comparison video later when I've tried at least one more diffuser, so we can compare all of them and the look they give and the price and everything. The big downside with this one is that it is very expensive. It's around $100, and that is a lot more than many other diffusers that you can buy. So that, I would say, is the big disadvantage. But considering how expensive camera equipment is, such as the camera and the lens, it could definitely be worth spending $100 on a diffuser if you feel it is the best one for you. The AK diffuser feels very well thought out. The light is bouncing in the best way I could imagine, and it is also very easy to adjust aperture and focus on my lens. Even though the diffuser sits very snugly, it just works well and feels natural, and it's a joy to use it. Let's have a look at the ant tree, see if we can catch anything. This is like the third time this happens. The downside of using a monopod for filming, but upside is it is very lightweight and convenient. The problem with ants is that the warmer it is, the faster they get, and today it is very warm, so the ants are almost impossible to shoot. One setting that I don't talk about that much that I think is very good to use is automatic review of a photo when you have taken it. This means that if you enable this setting in your camera, and all mirrorless cameras have this setting, then you will immediately after taking a photo see that photo for a couple of seconds. And I always have this enabled when I'm doing macro photography specifically, because that actually helps me with the focusing a lot. I can see on the photo that's taken with a flash where I was focusing, and then I can quickly adjust the focus so that I get it completely right. So it is kind of a way of compensating for not having a LED light for focusing. But I've gotten used to doing it this way, and I think it works great for me. You should try it. When I reviewed the Pope shield, I was complaining a lot about the shield like sticking into things as I was trying to take photos. For example, if I were to photograph something here sitting on this tree, then the Pope shield often gets in the way, so you cannot really focus close enough to photograph something that sits on the tree. I have less of this problem with AK diffuser, probably because it protrudes a lot less. It begins already in the middle of the lens, and it doesn't stick out as much, and it doesn't stick out as aggressively. So I think it works really well, even for 2x magnification that I'm doing most of my photography on. So this is a big plus, I think, for the AK diffuser compared to the Pope Shield. So it was mostly stink bugs today, and sometimes you just have to take what you get. I'm happy I found some insects at least to demonstrate this AK diffuser, and I have to say I like it a lot. It gives a nice rendering, it feels high quality. The main downside, I would say, is the price. It is one of the more expensive diffusers that you can get out there, but I think it delivers. This is my latest bonus video exclusively for Patreon supporters. It's a 20-minute tutorial where I teach you my best tips for capturing wildflowers. And every month I add a new bonus video to my Patreon library. It's currently 13 videos. If you become a patron of mine for $5 per month, you get access to this growing library of bonus videos. And more importantly, you can sleep better at night, knowing that you ensure the continued existence of this YouTube channel. I do this full-time, but I do not yet earn a full-time living, so your contribution is greatly appreciated and very much needed. Go to patreon.com/MicaelWidell to sign up. You can cancel anytime. Thank you.